So financial freedom, what's the first step? What's the first step in Hersh's book?
I think you need to build your mindset around it that, hey, look, it's possible, right?
Mm,
I can do this and I will do it. So it's important. And it's important to know that it is possible and have that hope there still, right? Even no, it doesn't matter how much debt you're in, right? It's still possible. You'll get your life turned around if you have that mentality versus like, hey, I can't do it. This is going to take so long. All this,
mm,
like, we're just creating excuses for us to live the life that we're at already, right? What's that
yeah,
going to do in solving that finance problem, right? So that's the first step. The second step is making sure you have some kind of an emergency fund, right? That's like everyone teaches you that in finance, right? So having some kind of a base to fall back on, whether it's a couple $1,000s, whatever it is, whatever you can afford to have your be your emergency fund. I think it's important to have that so you don't, if something random comes up and costs, like you're incurring car like maintenance charges all of a sudden in a month, then you're not like, oh man, this threw off my whole plan, right? You have some money saved up to put towards that and keep moving, keep that momentum going that you've built.
right. And I totally get that because, I've been in the financial space for the last several years as well. And so we were taught, whether you're taking a securities license or CFP or whatever, the base is kind of like your 4 to 6 months of monthly expenses, right? So
Yep.
if your expenses are, let's just say $3,000 a month, you should have about 12 to 15 G's roughly saved out, right?
Totally agree. Yeah.
Cool.
So that's the next step for me. Like, I think it's important to at least get that first step started where you have like $1,000, $2,000 because you've set that goal for yourself, right? You're trying to build that momentum to the 3 to 6 months saved up. So you start with that. You start looking at your debt. You create a budget for yourself. You start looking at what what you owe out there in loans, whatever it is. Set a strategy around that. And then once you have that, you're making at least the minimum payments. Then you start saving for the 3 to 6 months, right? Because anything can happen. You can lose your job, right?
Yeah. And a lot of people just did,
There,
right?
there
The
we go.
world, no one would ever think that a situation like this would happen.